going on, everyone? Daniel Rodriguez here. It's time to review another movie. This time, this movie stars Taron Egerton, man. Last time we saw Taron Egerton was in Kingsman: The Secret Service. Hugh Jackman is in here, man. Matthew Vaughn directed Kingsman, by the way. He's a producer on this movie. And, of course, we have Christopher Walken in this movie as well. Now, Taron Egerton plays Eddie the Eagle, Eddie Edwards, man. Of course, this was based off the real Eddie Edwards, man. Definitely, it's based on a true story, man. 1986 Olympics, the Winter Olympics, man. Fantastic. He's a ski jumper and everything. That was very fantastic. Look up Eddie Edwards, man. Fantastic. Actually, I don't know whether you should see the movie first, if you do see the movie, and then look up Eddie the Eagle, man. The real Eddie the Eagle, man. He's a very fantastic, really nice guy, man. For sure, Taron Egerton plays this guy to the T. He plays him right. Just like it's almost like if Eddie Edwards was really in the movie. I mean, the way Taron Egerton looks, let me just tell you, first off, he did a fantastic job in this movie, dude. I love the way the mustache is down right, the face, he has like, I don't know, Eddie Edwards had this sort of like face where he's like, kind of like that from the side, and like, oh, you have some tea, like, I don't, you know, just some like weird, his chin was always like almost like, almost like disabled looking. I don't know how that goes with that, but he had that sort of look. Like he was like always looked like the geeky guy, and like there people were rude to him in real life. You know, like that sort of guy that was always like pissed on, but he's actually a badass in the inside. You know what I'm saying? Like that sort of thing. So sort of like that type of guy. The guy almost like, pretty much like if you were a person and come to comic books in school and they're like, leave the guy reading comic books. Fuck off, man. Batman v Superman coming out later. You don't know a thing. I know everything. You don't. That sort of thing. But anyway, this movie's directed by Dexter Fletcher, man. Has an estimated budget of $23 million, man. And this is a non-spoiler review. I'm just going to give you the pros, give you the cons, tell you the good, tell you the bad, give you my final score at the end, tell you whether or not you should go check out this movie in theaters, or maybe you should just wait down the road for rental, man. So anyway, here we go. Here is my non-spoiler review, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for Eddie the Eagle. Just like I said before, everyone, Taron Egerton did a fantastic job in here. The first time I saw Taron Egerton was Kingsman: The Secret Service. He was awesome in there, dude. And he plays a different role, man. He's not like this spy kid anymore. Eggy, you know, Eggsy, whatever his name was in Kingsman. This guy, man, literally becomes Eddie Edwards, man. I love the way, like, he's so different from his Kingsman character. Obviously, this guy's not a spy. He's a ski jumper. He's determined. You could see it in his eyes. You could see it in his face. You could see it in his body. This guy wants to become an Olympian, an Olympic jumper. I love the way that Taron Egerton plays it, man. Definitely, for sure. If you've seen this guy in Kingsman and you like him in Kingsman, he plays, of course, the main guy in Kingsman: Secret Service. He's awesome in here, man. I'm glad that he was part of this movie. He looks like Eddie Edwards. He basically, he is Eddie Edwards in this movie, man. He plays him so damn well. So definitely, for sure, Taron Egerton is a really great part of this movie, man. Hugh Jackman as well. He plays kind of the coach of Eddie Edwards. But in real life, there was no Hugh Jackman figure in Eddie Edwards' life. There was no coach for him. He basically did it all by himself. But Hugh Jackman, of course, they add him into the movie, and he's the coach, you know. The time to stop jumping is 5 or 6. You know, that sort of coach sort of guy. He's awesome, man. Definitely, for sure, Hugh Jackman adds an awesome part to this role. He's sort of like that drunken sort of guy, like, where's my jacket? But not literally a jacket, just a flask and have the alcohol in there and everything. But he's a badass. I never knew Hugh Jackman smoked cigarettes. I was like, hey, you know, it's one of them thick, though. I love that, man. That's really cool. I'm like, Hugh Jackman smokes cigs. Approved. All right. I was happy. I was like, after that, I was like, just like, Hugh Jackman does it. I can do it, you know. But either way, that was awesome, man. Really cool. His character's really awesome. He's really funny at times. Just when he's drunken and everything, and it's just weird because you're like, this guy's Wolverine, but you know, Hugh Jackman. Like, 'cause Hugh Jackman, every time he comes out in something else, he never gets, like, every movie it comes out in, it's never like Wolverine, $160 million. You know, it's always just sort of like, this movie made like $6 million its first weekend. And I'm thinking, you got Hugh Jackman, man. The cinematography in this movie was really good, man. I literally thought walking into this movie, I thought Matthew Vaughn directed it. Because I was like, Taron Egerton working with Matthew Vaughn again, awesome. And then I saw Dexter Fletcher and I was like, oh, only Matthew Vaughn's a producer. But then I felt like this movie had so much of a feeling of a Matthew Vaughn movie. I can't explain it, but it had a Matthew Vaughn cinematography feeling. And of course, you know, cinematographers, I don't know who the cinematographer was for this movie, but, you know, awesome that, you know, it was a really good job. It wasn't nothing bad. I mean, I love the camera shots in here, definitely, for sure. When they show the skiing, because this is skiing in here, man. It doesn't like just, oh, he goes and like, no, it's full on skiing, landing, everything, man. And the effects in here, There is noticeable green screen at times, but when it's not that green screen, like up close look, and it's some stunt double skiing or something, but when it's the characters and all that, it is fun, man. It definitely is, and I love the camera angle. Right when he's skiing down, the camera's with you, and you're in midair, man. Really, really a fun ride for the cinematography. It looked good. I thought it was like Matthew Vaughn. Then I saw director like Dexter Fletcher direct. What? Who? You know, that was my reaction. Also, if you love 80s music, you're gonna really enjoy the soundtrack in here. Every song in here was awesome. Van Halen, Jump, man. I mean, there were just so many awesome music in here, of course, from the 80s. So definitely, for sure, whoever, was like, okay, pick out this music for that, and whoever had the ideas, awesome, man. Power to you, man. Love the music in here. Also, I've come to appreciate, after watching this movie, the Winter Olympics, a little bit more of the ski jumpers, man. There's like a 10 millimeter, there's a 40 millimeter, there's a 70 millimeter, there's a 100 millimeter. I think it was 120 millimeter or 100 millimeter, I'm not sure, but these things are tall, the ramps, man, the scale of these things, man. You have to be bonkers to go on this, man. I get the 40 millimeter, man. There's a 15 millimeter, 40 millimeter, 70 millimeter, 120 millimeter, I believe. 120 millimeter, the highest one. Yeah, balls of steel to actually get on that, man. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how. I mean, the first time you got to attempt and try it, I don't know how you people do it, but God bless you, man. That was really awesome. Eddie Edwards, man, had such heart, man. He had such pure gold. And people always got on him, man, like, oh, mate, jump off here, man. You're horrible. You're not going to be an Olympian, like his dad or something like that. Like, basically where you're like, oi, you're going to be a plasterer, mate. You're not going to be an Olympian, okay? Now, give up this dream. You will never be an Olympian. Watch what Eddie Edwards did, man. He was just, to you, Dad. Just basically like that. So he does prove himself very well, man. I really do enjoy that. It's just a beautiful, true story for Eddie Edwards. But it does get repetitive at times, which I'll get to that in a minute. But it does get repetitive. But as the journey, I kind of wished we could have saw the journey of him actually doing it by himself, but of course with a trainer, coach, and Hugh Jackman, add a little bit of Hollywood into their little story into there. It's fine as well, but kind of, I would, he did it by himself, so I kind of wish I kind of saw that. Now again, this movie does get a little repetitive, of course. There are repetitive lines in here that happen quite often, and then there's certain characters in here that they introduce to Eddie, or they introduce to Hugh Jackman's character. Like, they introduce, and then they're into the movie a little bit, and then it's kind of like, later in the movie you see them one more time, but it's kind of like a goodbye thing. They're kind of like, hey, Eddie, and then like at the end of the movie, you never see the characters again. They kind of just disappear. Like, what happened here? What about a love interest? What about this? What about that? What about that character? What about the character we met earlier, where Eddie was talking to them for like 10 minutes, and then we never see them again, and like they're nothing. They're just kind of like meat thrown away, man, like the dogs to eat. What happened to those characters? Those certain characters you wanted to see later on, and you wanted to see something happen with the characters, but never happened. Those characters just kind of got thrown to the side. Again, that repetitive feeling, and also there is repetitive lines in here multiple times, man, and definitely there's this part with these characters where they're kind of bullies, but they're like on the same British team, and they're like, I don't know why they're bullies. It was that stupid arc there. I don't know if that actually happened where he was bullied at the Olympics. But it was kind of stupid, that whole storyline there. Like, hey, this got you drunk, mate. Like, it's, I'm not going to spoil much, but it's repetitive throughout the movie. Even the lines, man. Even, like, it happens again with the dad and the son, and then later on the dad and the son again, like a repetitive thing, but just because he's all grown up. That sort of stuff, man. It gets repetitive after a while. And like I said, you can notice when there's a green screen, but it doesn't ruin the movie, man. It's just, obviously the real actors aren't actually doing real ski jumping. They could die. Leave it to the pros. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end up giving Eddie the Eagle a 7.5 out of a 10, man. I thought it was a really good movie, man. Really good. It wasn't great. It wasn't something like amazing, or it wasn't like the movie of the year sort of thing. But it is a real good movie, man. If you want to check it out, man, definitely go watch it, man. Worth watching? Yes, it is worth watching. Is it worth watching in theaters? That's up to you. If you want to see Hugh Jackman or Taron Egerton, you want to support them, man, definitely check it out in theaters, man. And definitely, rental for sure. If you're not going to watch it in theaters, watch it on rental. But I'm not saying it's a great movie. It's just good. It's a good movie, man. It's definitely fun times in here. And then, I could see myself owning this movie one day, but like $5 bin, like buying it in the $5 bin. I can't see myself buying it day one or anything like that. But for sure, it is a movie that just should be seen throughout your life at one time or another, man. But before the movie started, Hugh Jackman and Taron Egerton were on screen and like, thank you for coming to the movies. Thank you for coming and seeing this, man. Like, they literally said that before the movies, and they like gave us a little introduction. That's what I love about that, man. And I'm in a room of 4 people. I'm thinking, people, go see a movie, man. Go see, go see this movie. Go support them, man. They make this movie. They, make him get the $23 million back. Help him out. Because it is not a movie where it's just like, blah, like Gods of Egypt, man. Wait for my Gods of Egypt review. God damn, that's just... Eddie the Eagle is not... It's up, man. It's rising to heaven right there, man. So, support the good. Don't support the bad. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again. Eddie the Eagle, 7.5 out of 10. It's up to you. The choice is up to you. Theater or rental. Whichever one, man. Just help them out, man. Thanks again. Until next time, more reviews coming up later. Gods of Egypt, 999, Whiskey Tango, Foxtrot, man, Zootopia, London Has Fallen. So much more. Support the channel, subscribe, hit the button. Until next time, bye-bye.